There's no better one to use than the pilot on this. Remember the pilot that ate the mushrooms before he flew the plane? He's no longer with us. So I'm going to ask for prayers, which I don't normally do, but I'm actively trying to pray because of what had happened. Now, I think I articulated it right as to the best as I can understand things to go. I'm not interested in judging anybody. I'm not. I've been talking with my ex, and it was a big deal for me to keep that going on. It was. It was very important. And to be honest, I genuinely liked it. I did. I did. Um, I did have to ask her one question, and it caused her to blow up. And although she did answer me after that the next day, um, it really looked like she blew. It really looked like everything that I tried to explain to her got warped. Like she really didn't. She really didn't get what I meant with what I was saying, and sort of warped shit around. And that upsets me because for one, I wasn't trying to talk shit about my oldest son. I talked with my brother about different experiences we had because my brother was going to have his ex-wife and his only son, his first son, move down south. And when we talked about it, he said he expected it would be okay because he's always the disciplinarian, and the other guy liked to play the games with him that he plays. So he was okay with it. So the context in it was completely wrong. I didn't mean it like calling him a mama's boy, but he was always more comfortable with his mother. And we had difficulty anytime I tried to do anything just me and him. I had difficulties with him. I didn't figure it out. I wasn't sure. Maybe he's just that way, but I don't know why. Um, it can't be. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him in what I'm doing. It's like she crushed everything good that I said and just chunked it, you know? And not only was it good for me to be able to communicate and heal with her, I know it was good for her. And it does. It feels like she just crunched all that up, like the thing with my son. Yeah, I said the stuff about him being a mama's boy. That's the easiest way to say it. I didn't mean it in the way. It's like when your meaning that you have is good and it makes a change in you. It makes you respond differently, right? You know what I mean? What I wanted to share with her was that because the same thing that it seems like just crushed up all that stuff because I also said, oh shit, we're going to have one of these videos. No, we're not. Um I need prayers in it because I'm not going to continue just to message her, you know. But we were talking every day, and I did have one question. But here's the deal. Here's the thing. Whatever guided me in that process, like you have your gut instinct, you know. I seem to have articulated this correctly because I didn't have this knowing until now. Um, I know you have that gut level, and it'll guide you and do a lot of stuff. But in my experience, the gut level, I'm trying to gesture my gut, but I can't show it. The gut level had the intervention of the higher level because I physically got this tingling sensation. It was mixed with a hot and a cold, and I remember it better now, or I can explain it, you know, because it brings you the chills. Like all my hair stands up just identifying it to you. You know, I've always been aware of the body phenomenon of when you have the goosebumps, you know, and I know that that's a biophoton release. You know, you're shooting out light when that's going on. So these two sensations are the same. There's a rooted body sensation here because in my experience, and since that time, it's been like 13 years. It's been 13 years. And she's the one that pointed that out to me. I had to get on the stand and I had to testify, and I did have to tell on myself too. That's the thing. I had to tell on myself. And I didn't want to bring it up to her because I had one question that I needed to ask. And I kept getting promptings of the last final one was my grandpa. Because like I said, she's a Jewish girl. And I had found and connected with my grandpa, my dad's dad. I had the same ghost experience like I had with my dad, with my grandpa out in these front woods. I went through because you can cross over the fence and you can go into the next yard here. And I don't always do that. I've got the key map for Houston right on the other side, inside of underneath a container bucket. So it's sitting there. You know, why did I do that? I just did. I don't know why I'm telling you that. I just did. I did use it to look over the map and imagine and send positive energy to them, you know, or a neutralized high yield energy for whatever use that they would want, you know, as a thought experiment, you know. Um, since I've had that occur, that body feeling, um, I am freer. I to get to this place like this, there was a period of time when if I would have been mad like she's mad and chosen to be mad at her, I would not have been able to pray for her because I was also worried about her because I thought maybe she had died. I thought for some whatever reason I thought maybe she was suffering from a stomach cancer, and that's all I know. It's because I didn't know. I didn't have a way to communicate at that time. So what we were both doing, I'm sure, was very critical to our relationship. Now, I I have told her, or I tried to explain the mechanism, because during the period of time, and I started talking to her on the 19th, um, there was a certain period, maybe the fifth day, I don't know, where whatever is guiding me, put it forward that I needed to know why Baytown police came from Baytown into Houston, into my mom's house, and were able to taser me while I was asleep. Why couldn't they just have the Houston police? Why did they have to lie? Why did they have to lie? If you and she did say she was devastated when I got not guilty, you know. But I've never said I didn't have this fucked up violent experience with her. I've hurt her, and it's hurt me more than anything else. It has. It has. But I've also had a very provocative her that when it came down to, I'm not going to put my hands on you, she still putting her hands on me, hitting me upside the head, you know, at the last one. Actually, each time, it's when she hits me upside the head that I've lost my shit and fucked her up, you know? I mean, even my dad had a place on his body because he had been stabbed on his sternum. And if you got close to there, he'd punch you. He'd punch you, and it was a because he had an injury there. You know, don't jump on somebody while they're asleep. You know, real smart shit, basically. But I didn't never. I told her, I was like, I have atoned. I've had to atone for that to God, and I did. I had to take that to Jesus, and I'll tell you the one thing that I did, the worst fucking thing that I did, and even now it makes me almost cry because I'm so ashamed of myself. I'm so ashamed of myself for this experience of what I did. But I was fucked up uh, on cocaine, doing some bad shit, and I told my son I would get him a Happy Meal, and I went and fucking left the reservation trying to get some damn cocaine out of my mind, because I was in a bad place. I was in a bad place. And that's the worst fucking thing I can feel. That, I mean, I experienced it. It's worse than anything I ever even did to her. It breaks my heart that I did that to my oldest son. If I could go back and do anything different, it would just be that. That is straight up. That is how horrible I feel. And she would want me to atone. That's my darkest fucking thing that I experienced and I did. The only way I know to atone is to tell the people that I know represent the same 12 people of my peers is the society group. Society! Hey, society! I did that. I did that. But you see, look, you don't know how freeing it is to give that back to God. When people tell you give it to God, that's what they mean. Whatever you got to do to sit with that pain, that fucking horrible fucking shit, there is a thing you can do. And it's to release it to, not to the void, to the fucking people that you stand accountable for. Do you understand? That's what Christ gives us. And to let it go. And you feel it in this part of your body. You will feel it, and it is fucking releasing. But you gotta breathe with it. You have to experience that fucking shit and let it out. Imagine it's black fucking particles. Imagine it's the fucking Green Mile fucking dust. Whatever you've got to do, and that works. That does something. Now, I tried to share this with her. That's what I did want to share with her because I do feel horrible. And I know that it hurts her to have to relive that. But I also know that it was her emotional shit that we all have, but that made it too hard for her to talk to me over the years. Although she also chose not to have my children call, I know it was too hard for her. I understand that. And she keeps telling me that I'm wanting uh, her to feel sorry for me. I don't. That I do not. And I do take the responsibility for doing it. I did it. It was my fault, you know? But I was really hoping to continue to talk to her because I did like it. And I was sharing things like this with her. And I was able to do it when she got all into her shit about her husband now. And I was telling her what to do, but I could feel it with her in my body, you know? I could feel it with her in my body because I would get that panic attack too, feeling. And I think that's because I'd been married to her before, that I was already looking for some higher use in the body of that for, like, practices of stuff. And I didn't have a problem sharing that either. I was able to be completely transparent, but it sucks because all the things that I tried to share that were good, I felt like she just crumpled up and disregarded. And if we could have breathed through the shit, that wasn't my intention. That was the Lord's intention. I tried to avoid it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. But I didn't even realize because he knows she's not going to have that. Even I did. So, I shared with her that I was fighting God about disclosing this or asking her that. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to fuck shit up. And I was able to also share with her that that's my experience that I have now since those years that it happened that we had that case. You know, I don't know. What do you think?